Hey y'all, welcome to Girl Meets Screen. My name's Norma. This is my channel, and this is the third time we are recording this video. I just slacked on editing the first two times and realized like, okay, maybe I need to make it shorter because honestly, I didn't want to do this. Like I did because I love talking about this with you guys, but I didn't want to do it in the sense of like, I feel like we're all kind of over this couple and this topic. However, it felt wrong to leave it the way I did, you know, because there have been updates. And so I was like, okay, we need to talk about the updates and then hopefully we can move on. I genuinely don't believe Tyler and Ashley will make a statement. I've seen Tyler posted a picture from their wedding with like a peace sign and a winky face or something. And then I think Ashley just posted like stories of her at a restaurant or something. So they're not addressing it, right? Like it doesn't seem like they're getting ready to make this statement. She's believing his story and they're sticking to that, okay? He has been able to convince her that all these other people in his life are liars. Because here's my thing, right? Before I get into it, Bri, her ex-wife, and Bri's mom, there are lies there. There's things being omitted. I'm not saying that they're like perfect angel people who are exposing the truth, and you know, like there's some holes that you're kind of like, you know, people want to make themselves look good. I get it. They're coming out to like this huge public platform of Love is Blind, you know? So in no way am I saying that I believe like everything they're saying to a T. However, like he doesn't just have like the child support against him from Bri. Like there's women he owes money to. Like the ex-fiance, I believe, came out and said she didn't know he was having that baby as his fiance. Like, I'm sorry. If you're going to do that for a friend, that's amazing. However, if you have a partner, that is definitely something you discuss with your partner. I have like two things on my mind with this, and it's how the kids are being effed over basically. And then also, which obviously like you can only feel so much for Ashley. At the end of the day, she's choosing this, whether she sees it that way or not, but she was manipulated into this relationship. He said he had no kids in the pods. She makes it clear on this podcast that she didn't want kids. There was someone with a kid that she was like, even though we didn't have a connection, if we did, I probably would have pursued it because I didn't want that for me. And then here she is, right? So it's like, because I get it. Like he made her fall in love with him. They had sex. They went out to Cabo. Like she was already in deep by the time he told her the truth. And he only told her like a portion of the truth, right? He was like he slowly told her more truth to see what he could get away with omitting. She talks on this podcast, basically everything more in detail, like timeline of events. So, and this is why I say like she was manipulated and then like lied to on multiple occasions, right? So we have the original lie of no, I don't have any kids in the pods. Then she says they went out with Nikki D. When they came home, he was like, oh, I have something to tell you. She thought he was gonna say he had an STD. He was like, no, not that. So she laughed, what, you have kids? He's serious, dead silent. So then she's like, what? Like, how many? He says 3. And he tells her that they are sperm. It was a sperm donation for a lesbian couple who were his best friends, or one of them was his best friends. Now, apparently this is all the information she got that night. She claims they spoke from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m., but she just didn't ask the right questions. Why would you have to ask him specifically, do you know the kids? How involved are you? I feel like that's something an honest, good man would have just told you. First of all, I would have told you the cause. But then if he's telling you now, he would be like, yeah, I'm a sperm donor. They know what I look like. I was in their life for some time. Because here's my thing, right? She's trying to make it seem like it's no big deal. Like, he just was a guy who got in too deep. If that's the case, he would have told you that in the beginning. Just like in the pods, he would have told you he was a sperm donor if it was no big deal. Sperm donation is fine. There is no issue with that. I feel like it's rare that a woman would be like, yeah, no, right? Like there is the thought of like his kids are going to be out there somewhere looking for him later. But like for the most part, that's something people can kind of get past because it's a noble thing to do and you're not involved in these children's lives. It was something you did for someone else, like, right? And that's how he wants to present it. That's how she wants to present it. But that's not what happened. So what are we doing, you know? And so that original omission was like admitted, but only so much. What I don't understand is in 5 hours of talking, nowhere in that do you or him gather like or ask a question that gathers that he was involved in their lives. Like what your final story is does not get told in those 5. What were you talking about for those 5 hours? Were you just repeatedly saying you lied to me, you lied to me, you lied to me? Like, come on. So then we get the footage because she basically is like, people are gonna see my mood. We have to talk about it on camera. He didn't want to. Of course he didn't. And so then on camera, we get the whole, do they know what you look like? And he says, I don't think so. She's like, and that's where I knew he was lying. So he didn't tell her the full truth, gave her a little piece, was like, maybe this is enough to get me by. She catches a lie. She asks a question. He's like, all right, here's a little bit more truth. So that's where we get to the story of, I just got in too deep. She needed help. Her partner left her. But then what isn't clarified is if Ashley knows that the twins were made naturally or not. If I'm being honest, it seems to me like he's telling her that they weren't. That the wife left while she was pregnant with the twins, he stepped up. That's why there's this, that. There's all these explanations for pictures, right? Well, what's interesting to me though too is that in the reunion, he's like, oh, I go to a lot of my friends, holidays. I play with a lot of their kids, but that's not what it was. That's where it's like you're lying. And how does Ashley not see this? Because so the story is he got in too deep, but then he says shit like, I see all my friends' kids on the holidays, trying to downplay the relationship. It's like, no, you already said it was a relationship. So it's like, girl, you don't see he's out here like telling bad lies at that, but whatever. So yeah, that's my, like I said, my main thing is like, you've been manipulated, you've been lied to repeatedly about the same situation. He's allowed you to go publicly speaking on it at the reunion on Vial Files, that other interview she did. He's allowing you to speak publicly knowing he hasn't told you the complete truth. Because he also told you he don't talk to Bri no more, hasn't talked to her since 2022. And then Bri has text messages of him texting her up until the show took his phone and texting her as soon as he got the phone back. Okay. Another lie she tells is they never lived together. They lived in the same building. And this is where I realized, or a lot of us realized, that Tyler takes the truth and almost like stretches it over lies. So that it's kind of like, well, there is some truth to it, right? And so you're inclined to believe him as his partner who loves him because it's like, yeah, she confirmed that. That's true, right? So this truth he stretches is Bri says, yeah, we lived in the same building, not same apartment, different apartments, when I had Kai, the baby boy. When he decided to be in his life, he brought some stuff up to my apartment and he would stay there when he was, taking care of Kai, yada, yada, yada. When they got pregnant with the twins, they moved into a house together. So now they live together, okay? So he told the truth. Yeah, we only lived in the same apartment building. We never lived together. But you lived together. And she had mail to prove that. Girl. But anywho, so that is, like, my point is he continues to lie to her. And she's just going with it. What are you telling yourself, Ashley? I really would like to know, like, what you're telling yourself to be okay with these things. Because he lies to you in the pods. Then he only tells you a little bit of it. Then he only tells you a little bit more. It's not even like, oh, I caught you in the lie, in the second lie, or the omission or whatever. And then you just told me everything. You were like, okay, listen, I'm going to lay it all out. He didn't tell her everything and married her. That's probably why he looked so nervous on the wedding day and he was saying all that stuff. Because he knew there was so much more that was going to come out. I don't know how you can be okay with your partner doing that. Not to mention, don't get me started on the fact that this man has let her be in the line of fire. I get it. I'm someone who will defend my people hard, okay? I'm going to be on camera. Like, that's not the case. Let me tell you. Let my partner do something like that to me in a situation like this. You better be out there taking that heat. I ain't doing nothing. And even if I tried, my partner better be like, this is not your mess to fix. You know why he's not? Because he's a bad liar. She said it. He said it. So she said, baby, I'm going to get on this camera because I tell the lies better. I'll make the people believe. Because people still had a little bit of sympathy for her. That shit went out the window after the Vial Files, baby. That is done. That is over with. Let's talk about how Tyler is the literal definition of a deadbeat, okay? She claims in the Vial Files that Bri would push him out anytime she had a girlfriend. She would create a family with that girlfriend and then want him back in, and then he wouldn't have any rights to make decisions for the kids. You stepped up to be a dad, right? Let's say natural born dads. They have sex with a woman, but they're not together. The woman starts trying to keep the kid from him. You know what you do? You go to courts to get your rights. That is what a father does. So definition of a deadbeat is someone who would do not that. So he decided, oh, I don't have any say in the way my kids are being raised. All right, well then you can keep them. They're yours. Bye. I'm gonna go make my own family. Can I ask you guys how that would sound to you? If it was a dad, a typical dad, you and your partner are no longer together, and those are his kids. And you as primary parent decide, I think I know what's best, what school they should go to, whatever. And your ex-partner says, I don't feel like I have any decision-making power, so I'm out. I'm gonna go find my own family. You can keep those ones. Would that not sound absurd? Because that's what Tyler's doing. Whether this started off as a sperm donation or not, the minute that man said, I want to step up, the end. You stepped up. You don't get to step back. There's no, I got in too deep and didn't know what to do next. You're a father now, period, point blank. And that's the situation with Kai. The twins came naturally, as far as we know, allegedly. But I believe it. So those are his children. She got the nerve to be on the mouth. I was talking about, I saw the boys' birth certificate. I didn't see the girls. I wonder why, Ashley. I wonder why those were so hard to show you. Like, baby, you can't be this stupid. And then the vial files, they're all, okay. Like, the first thing anyone interviewing her that isn't them would ask is like, well, why didn't you see the girl's birth certificate? She calls false narratives the ex-wife saying they slept together to make the twins. I think she blends it together because the ex-wife says that she believes they also created the son naturally. We don't have any evidence of that. Bry says that was sperm donation, which it could be. Like, the wife could have been gone and they decided without telling her to do another round, you know, of like a turkey baster method. So it is possible. Like, we can't really take the ex-wife's word for that, but Ashley took that to mean that she also lied about the twins. But Bry has confirmed the twins were made naturally. What I also don't like is Ashley's low-key, which is so funny because, of course, my godbrother's gay. So you had to throw that in there to throw your shade. Basically, Ashley believes that because this woman is a lesbian, she couldn't have possibly made kids naturally with Tyler. Like, we're dense. We're a little bit dense. And I get it. That can be slightly confusing because a lesbian is typically identified as someone who only sleeps with women, right? However, we do have, I don't know how to like, I'm sure there's some sort of like natural arousement, attraction. I don't know. Like, you might, sexuality is a spectrum, like Jessie Wu been saying. She could have identified as a lesbian all her life, but has some mild something, you know? Not to mention, seeing a dad be doing it for anybody. Like, you know, like, that, she might have just been feeling in the moment, like, oh my God, this is a family. Not that she wanted to be with him, but like, you know, that connectedness to make her do that. But like, to sit here and say because she's engaged to a woman, okay? On top of that, she brings this woman's family into it by claiming, well, this is what Tyler told her, though, in somewhat in her defense, but not really, because if you spilling these things out too, you just as bad. But the grandma, Bry's mom, does not like Bry being a lesbian, so she was the one pushing him to be a dad. That's why in some of the videos you hear her saying, who's that? Who are you talking to? That's your daddy. That's your daddy. You talking to your daddy. There's gotta be, she's a bird. I'm sorry, whatever, that is a bird. Like, do you know how many videos I could probably pull up of me saying to my girls, who's that? Is that daddy? Literally every time he comes home, that I'm home with the girls. Coco, who's that? Coco, who's that? Coco, dada? Coco, dada? Coco, is that dada? That's your dada? You guys, that is so normal. For those of you who maybe don't have kids and are kind of believing it, very normal. Very normal for people to do. I've heard my mom say it. I've heard his parents say it. It's a normal thing you say to littles. Not to mention, Ashley, Tyler's not a 10-year-old. That is a full-grown man who could have said to that lady, please stop telling him to call me daddy. I'm Uncle Tyler. That's all you had to do. Why didn't he? Because he the pappy. Let me get into where she calls Storytime with Ricky fake TikTok journalist or whatever she says, because she's like, anyone can put Tyler into contact and say, text me this so we can make it look like that, because of the allegations that girl made that he texted her while with her in the experiment to go sleep at this girl's house. The girl already proved that, and Ricky showed that. Well, I don't remember if she showed it or said it, but she confirmed that the phone number the girl had was the phone number the grandma had for Tyler. And the girl sent her a screen recording of like doing this to the text hitting back, and it's Tyler's number. After this came out, story time with Ricky, that's when she showed the girl like screen recording her phone to show his number, said she verified it with the grandma. And I think I remember her saying she also asked that his white boyfriend, who was like all in the mix, about it too. She like ends that little segment of information with like, they haven't found their person in the shows, and it's like, baby, I'm married with children. She mentions having 2 brothers she found out her dad had while he was supposed to be with her mom or something. And then one of the brothers messaged her asking to get to know her. And that she was like, I have all the family I need. I'm sorry. Thank you. So I'm not really shocked that she's like, whatever. You don't want those kids? It's fine. She keeps referring to Bri as that lady and to her and the kids as that family. And like, girl, those are his kids. So that's all the pertinent information in the interview. As I've kind of been mentioning, Bri has proved a lot of that to be lies coming from Tyler. Like I said, we see text messages up until he gets his phone taken and up to when he gets his phone back. She also shows some emails. Bitch, goddamn, actually. This man is out here bursting you. Basically, his first email to her is essentially kind of like, you got your kids. You wanted kids, you got the kids. Why can't you leave me alone? That was essentially what that said in not so many words. You know, she responds back, these are your kids too. Like, you took part in caring for them, so you need to continue to do so. And then he answers essentially like, just take the rights. Just take the rights. He's like, I have nothing. I don't have a job. I don't have a car. I don't have a house. Like, what are you going to take from Ashley? Ooh, girl. Ooh. Don't do it. He says that and she responds, which I love. It's like, you can't do things like this to people with no consequences. You need to take responsibility for your actions, and period. At the end of the day, you want to claim the son was a sperm donation. Those twins were made naturally. They had your last name. Like, it's so insane. Like, it just, and that's where I'm at with Ashley, is even if it was, oh, he stepped up and got in too deep, too bad, so sad, that's on him. He got responsibilities now, girl. Even if these twins were sperm donations, he went and gave them his last name. That's it. It's that on that, babes. And then Tyler claiming, throwing little jabs and subliminals about having his own receipts. So put them out. If now isn't the time, when is? This is crazy. If you got these hook, line, and sinker receipts, I don't know why that's my favorite saying in this video, but if you got these receipts, let's hear them. Like, what are we doing? You guys, it has just been so ghetto, this journey with these people. And I know people love to be like, girl, if she like it, I love it. She want to be with him. What can we do about it? Yeah, we can talk about it still. That girl can say all she wants. We deserve our privacy. I'm sorry. I have a bit of a stance. Now, in terms of like violating someone's privacy, putting people in danger, I don't stand by that. But when it comes to like celebrities, influencers, people who get on TV, you do have a certain bit of responsibility to share things. Like, if you've shared things, you don't get to turn around and say you're not entitled to. Yes, they are, because you already exposed that. Now, if you want to sit there and say, listen, I understand. I let you into that part of my life, but I don't want to do that anymore. And so moving forward, I won't be. Respect. Not everybody's going to be respectful about it, but at least you're understanding the situation for what it is, of like, I do owe you guys this because I've been giving you that up until this point. Now I would like to stop, and I'm stopping. And that is their right. But to sit here and be like, y'all aren't owed anything, these people are entitled, it's like, no, they're not. Like, they are. You got on this show about love to showcase your love. This is your love, sweetie. This is the love you chose. So you don't get to now be like, y'all are entitled because you don't like what your love looks like. That was on you. That was your choice. Okay? So anyways, yeah, that's just, and like I said, I almost feel bad for her, because she's low-key has been kind of manipulated into this situation, because he made her fall in love, and then all this stuff is coming out, and she's already in as deep as she can get at this point. But, and then the kids, at the end of the day, those kids are the kids that suffer. Like, she was on his podcast talking about, you know, when he said don't forget what he looks like, and if they come looking for him when they're 18, you know, he's going to tell them, you were always supposed to have 2 moms. That was always the plan. I'm so sorry if it got confusing. Sir. Yeah, my 2 oldest are 5 and 6. There's no way they would ever forget their dad if he just like up and disappeared today. And it is insane to me that these people are saying stuff like this. But those are my final thoughts on the matter. Unless some craziness comes out, that'll be it. Maybe a YouTube short if something comes out that I feel like I have to speak on, but we're gonna wrap this season up right here. We're just gonna do our best to pretend it didn't happen. Yeah, like the video if you enjoyed. Comment down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on like the receipts that have come out and all of that. Subscribe for more content like this, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.